Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back to another episode of Sports Talk of Elite Wages. I am your host, Elite Wages, and this is going to be the episode where I break down the EPL season-long contest over on Fanteam, and I'm going to be running through the midfielder options and assets today. Just before I do, I want to send you all over to my Twitter. I've got my strategy guide here, which I've gone by these rules for a number of years. I've been fairly successful in doing these strategies. So strategy guides here for 30 seconds. YouTube short, click the link. 30 seconds, you get all my strategies and the way I like to play. And hopefully that can help you out. I've also just started a giveaway. As you can see, 2 hours ago, started a giveaway. Already got 17 people in. Easy to get involved. Like, retweet, and comment free on this tweet here. I'll be giving away 5 free tickets into this contest with Fanteam. £175,000 prize pool. Giving away five free tickets for that. So as you can see there, like, retweet, and comment free to get entered into that. And we're going to go over to Fanteam. And we're gonna look at the fantasy season-long game here for £175,000 prize pool. We're going to be breaking down the midfielder options today. And obviously, like I said last week, this is the area where a lot of your points are gonna come into play. We're sort of targeting a minimum of 60-ish points. So we've talked through the defenders and the goalkeeper options in the last episode. This episode, I'll be talking through the midfielders. Obviously, as you can see, they're priced higher than majority of the other positions within the contest. But we're looking for an average of around 6 points per player within this area of the field. Let's get into that. Obviously, again, we're going to be going through it in 3 different sections. So the premium, which are the higher price players. Ideally, you don't want to be picking too many of these players, otherwise you won't have much of a budget left to fill your team. The value options, who are the players that are under the average price per player. The average price per player is 7.5. They do have a high upside and high potential based on stats and fixture factors. And then we're going to have the honourable mentions, which are basically like the newer additions to teams or to the league. A prime example being Wirtz there. We all know he's a good player, but there's no sort of stats within the Premier League to back him up. So he'll get an honourable mention. Let's get into it. So I've been using this website here as well, FPL Form. This is probably the easiest way for me to show you some of the stats and things from last season. So I'll run through the players on Fanteam, and then I'll switch over to show some stats on the FPL Form. So the first player that I'm going to be talking about is probably no surprise. It's going to be Mohamed Salah. He is the most expensive player on the game. Obviously, within very, very good reason as well. As you can see there, Mohamed Salah, 344 total points last year, averaging 9.1, which is the highest in the league. He's also a penalty taker. He is the penalty taker now, so he'll be taking penalties for Liverpool, meaning obviously he gets that little bit of extra upside within games. He averages 88 minutes per game as well, which is obviously virtually a full game, which you get that extra point for the full game. 15 clean sheets for him last year as well. And then obviously, as you can see, 47 goal contributions for him as well. Very, very good statistically in terms of his XGA as well. Averaging 3 shots per game with 1.4 on target as well. In terms of fixture difficulty, he's got 3 hard matches, 5 medium and 2 easy matches heading into the season. So he's got a good matchup, a favourable sort of first 5 fixtures. But Liverpool, we can't really be too fussy on their fixtures. They're Liverpool, they can sort of beat anyone on their day anyway. So Salah is the first asset in the premium section. The next one, basically going down the list, is Cole Palmer. He will cost you 11 million. As you can see there, he's the 3rd highest player within fantasy last year. He had a total of 214 points last year, averaging 5.8. He is the penalty, free kick and the corner taker, so he is on all set pieces, which is obviously the added boost for him. Hopefully he can get more points from assists and goals with those added features for him. Averaging another player averaging 88 minutes, he very rarely gets subbed off. 10 clean sheets for him last year, and then 25 goal contributions. Again, he's another one of those players that is very shot heavy, 3 shots, 1 on target per game as well, so you get the extra point for the shot on target. The fixture schedule, Chelsea have probably had the best one in the first 10 games. So they've got 1 hard game, they've got 7 medium rated games, and then 2 easy games. So Palmer is probably going to be in a lot of my teams this year based on the fixtures and his stats from last year. I think he's the talisman for Chelsea. He's the man that they're going to be looking forward to. The next player, again, Saka. Just to reiterate the fact I said in last week's episode as well, you don't want to be picking too many premium players. If you pick these 3 players here, you've already got up 35 million of your budget. So I advise maybe 2 premium picks and then others. But I'm just going to run down obviously my favourite from the premium picks. So Saka, obviously a very, very injury hit season last year. He's down here somewhere. There, Saka. 127 total points last year, averaging 5.1. Obviously, again, a very injury hit season last year. He is on corners. Penalties have now apparently gone to Gyökeres, so he is not going to get the extra points for the corners. He averages 86 minutes per game, obviously when he's fully fit. 7 clean sheets for him, and 17 goal contributions last season. Another shot-heavy player, 3 shots, 1 on target per game. He's had a very good pre-season. He's bagged a couple of goal contributions as well, so he is certainly looking back into form. The fixture schedule for Arsenal is a little bit touch and go in the first 10. It can potentially be very difficult. They've got 3 hard games. I think they do play Liverpool and Man City within those first 10 games. 4 medium and then 3 easy. So it will be beneficial for you to sort of run through the fixture list for Arsenal to see where they can sort of where they have the better fixtures compared to the worst or the slightly worse fixtures. The next player I'm going to go for is one of my favourites from last season. He absolutely saved me from last year, and obviously being a Man United fan, Bruno Fernandes made me have a little bit more sanity than I should have had with the season that United had. But obviously, again, he is an absolutely quality player. Bruno Fernandes was up here. Where was he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 overall. He's in the top 10 midfielders from last year based on his stats. 174 total points, 4.8 on average. He is the set piece taker as well. I'll just skip through that there. Penalties, free kicks and corner taker for Manchester United, so he gets that extra points potential with the corners and the free kicks and the penalties. Averaging 86 minutes, but to be fair, it's very rare that he actually does come off the field. He's the one guy that United need on the field at all times to have the best chance of winning. 10 clean sheets for him last year. 20 goal contributions within the Premier League last year, and obviously he was, well, if you look here as assists, he's on the top of the list for those assists as well when it loads. Fixtures for him: 3 hard games to start off, followed by 5 medium and then 2 easier games. So again, could potentially be decent for Man United in the first couple of games. But again, need to sort of look through those fixtures to pick out the ones that they are best in. There you go. Bruno Fernandes is the second most assists in the league last year. So if he can potentially do that, obviously he's got the extra tools now with Cunha and Mbemo, who can potentially grab some goals as well. So he could potentially have this rocket up a little bit more. Averages 2.6 shots per game as well. Obviously he's on the free kicks, which count as a shot, and 0.8 on target per game, so averaging just under 1 per game as well. He has a huge potential to have a good haul next year. The next player that's going to be very highly owned is going to be Jarrod Bowen. Jarrod Bowen, 8 million, so just over that average price per player, but a very, very, very good player last year. I haven't reset the filter here, have I? No. So Jared Bowen, when this resets, he had 193 points last season, which is the 6th most in the league. Averaging 5.7, which is obviously a fairly decent average too. He is on corner duty, and he has taken a few free kicks as well, so potentially could have the free kicks for West Ham. As you can see there, 24 goal contributions, 8 clean sheets, with the 4th most assists as well in the league. Averaging 2.5 shots per game with 1 on target per game. And I want to double down on what I said last week about Jared Bowen, that he ended last season in a really, really good way. He had 8 straight games where he had an attacking return to end the season. So he's getting back into that form. He did score against Man United in pre-season as well. So he's certainly around that good potential player for this year. Fixtures, very, very good fixtures between the first 10. 1 hard game only, 2 easy games, 7 medium games. They do start off against Southampton, Sunderland. So he could be a potential captain from week 1. But again, he is going to be very highly owned. So let me reset these. Back to the midfielders, and the next one I'm going to pick is another one I'm really, really looking forward to watch. He's played very, very good in pre-season, and that's going to be Morgan Rogers. He is on the price, on the average price per player, but he probably warrants that. Morgan Rogers, as you can see there, he had a total of 161 total points last year, averaging 4.4. He was actually the 8th most. He had the 8th most points by a midfielder last year, did Morgan Rogers, averaging 84 minutes. But again, he's one of those players that doesn't tend to come off too many times. Looking over to his goal contributions, he had a total of 19 with 10 clean sheets. The fixtures for him are also very good. So 2 hard games, followed by 6 medium, and then 2 easy games as well. So Aston Villa have a very favourable first 10 games where they could potentially pick up a good haul. Is it coming up with the stats there? So the potential for him within the first 10 games is actually really good. So the difficulty there, you can see, is all yellow. I've got some of these down as medium level games. Burnley, medium level game, potentially Fulham as well, being the 2 easy games. But again, a lot of these teams are beatable. So Aston Villa, a very, very good potential for an opening 10 game haul there. Next one I'm going to go down to is going to be in the budget, in the value options. Where is he? Let's have a look. He is down here somewhere. I've seen him there. Kevin Shad, Brentford, 6 million. Let's type him up in here because he's not going to come up on the list. He had a very, very good season last year. He started off the season on the injury list. There he is there. He started off on the injury list for Brentford, but he came in. He played very, very well again with Mbemo, sort of in that attacking area. 149 points last season, averaging 3.9. Averages 87 minutes per game, but obviously with Mbemo going, he does have the potential to sort of stick around and play longer games. And he had a good haul in terms of goals and things last year. 11 goals, 4 assists, so 15 goal contributions, along with 10 clean sheets. That could be on the rise, obviously, with Mbeumo going. I feel like Brentford are going to have to be an attacking team to do well in this league next year. He averages 2 shots on target with 2 shots per game, with 1 being on target. So again, he gets the attacking potential for goals with his shot production. And the fixture schedule: 2 hard games, 6 medium, and 2 easy games. So again, another team where they could potentially start off with some good run in form. The next guy I'm going to talk about was in the Championship last year. I was torn on whether to make him an honourable mention or if I should include him in this, but I've decided to include him. I think 6 million is fairly cheap for Dan James. Obviously, he's been around a little bit Been to Man United, been to I think it was Cardiff he went to, and then obviously Swansea, and then he went to Leeds. At Leeds last year, he had a very, very good season, but obviously no stats in the Premier League last year, so I can't tell you his average points last year or points per game. Averages around 88 minutes as well, so he does have the potential to stick around for the whole game. 20 clean sheets. Obviously Leeds were historically good on defence last year, and he had a total of 21 goal contributions as well. He played his absolute socks off last year for Leeds. Averages 3 shots per game with 1 on target, so again he gets that potential for the goals with his shot production. But there's a big but. Fixture schedule is decent. It's one of those, if you want to pick, do you want to pick a promoted team, a promoted player to start in your team, or be a bench selection kind of thing? 1 hard game, 6 medium, and 3 easy. I think the promoted teams do actually play each other within the first couple of games. Let's have a look. So fixtures. They play Burnley. Oh no, that's it. So they play Burnley. But I think a lot of these games are very competitive within sort of the bottom half of the league in the relegation battle. So you're going to have sort of Brighton, West Ham, Burnley, potentially all very, very close games. Bournemouth, Wolves, potentially close games again. Fulham as well. So there's a couple of games here where you could actually think that they could grab a win. And obviously Dan James is one of those guys that they will need to help them with some goals. So Dan James is another sort of cheaper selection if you have, if you're willing to take that promoted player. The next one I'm going to go for is Bellegarde, 5.5 million. I think he's got really, really good value. Let's type him up in here. Obviously playing for Wolves last year, sort of didn't come into the season until sort of midway through. But he did play fairly well. So 90 total points, averaging 2.6 per game. Is on free kicks, and obviously now with Cunha gone, he's going to be hoping to fill the void left by Cunha. Averaged 83 minutes per game last year, but again, that was with Cunha playing in a similar position and a similar role. 6 clean sheets for him, 9 total goal contributions. Wolves are one of those teams that could potentially be in the bottom half of the league, maybe even in a relegation battle. And fixtures are sort of very, very good for Wolves. They play 4 easy games with 4 medium and 2 hard games. So they again have another potential for a good start of the season. Bellegarde is going to be one of those players that is going to be coming in for Cunha to try and fill that void. Obviously with John Arias as well. But I think Bellegarde is very, very good value at 5.5 million. And then the last player, I'm not sure if he's on here yet, so let's type him in. Is going to be, no, he's not on here yet. So Granit Xhaka, oh, he is on there. There he is, Granit Xhaka, 5 million. He's going straight on my bench, and I'll tell you why. Obviously, no stats from last year. With him being in the Bayer Leverkusen team, he was in that sort of undefeated team, and he's just an all-round amazing player. He's a set-piece specialist, so he's on penalties, free kicks, and he's on corners. He's the club captain. He's been made the club captain as well. He's got that leadership. Averages 87 minutes per game, so he's unlikely to come off the field. Last year for Bayer Leverkusen, he had 9 clean sheets with 9 goal contributions as well. But again, with him being on free kicks and penalties and corners, he has the potential for those extra points with goals and assists. The fixture schedule for Sunderland isn't looking too bad. It could be worse. You look sort of around 7, you play Man United, you got Aston Villa, and you got Chelsea inside the first 10. The other games are very, very competitive. I think they can sort of at least try in these games, if you like. A lot of these are very winnable, or at least goal scorable. So 2 hard, 4 medium, 4 easy, in my opinion. And yeah, Xhaka is going to be my cheapest option, and he's going to be my value pick, if you like. And then moving on to the honourable mentions. Honourable mention goes to Eze. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about him leaving and going to Arsenal. Obviously, he's a very, very tricky winger. He's here, a very tricky winger. 148 points last year, averaging 4.4. He's on set pieces. He sort of needs to perform if he does want to secure that move away. 16 goal contributions and 10 assists. But yeah, a very, very good player for Crystal Palace, and he's their key man. So they're going to want to try and do everything they can to keep him. He's going to want to do everything he can to sort of secure that move to Arsenal. So playing very well is going to be crucial for him. Next player is going to be Ndai for Everton. He's going to cost you 6.5 million. Is he on here? He should be on here somewhere. Yeah, Everton. Forward, but classed as a midfielder within the game. Joint top goal scorer for them last year. 114 total points, averaging 3.5 on the season. Again, with them not having very good attacking options, him being the top goal scorer for them last year is obviously a good thing. Defensively played very well as well. 15 clean sheets for him. He impressed throughout last season, and he should become sort of a crucial part to Everton's team. Again, Everton have good fixtures in the first couple of games as well. Playing only 2 hard teams within the first 10 games. Another honourable mention is going to be John Arias. Obviously, he's not going to be on here because he played for Fluminense last year. Played very well in the Club World Cup. He was actually crucial for them in the last couple of seasons. And him and Bellegarde are going to be trying to fill that void left by Cunha. But again, with the uncertainty of moving to the Premier League, that's why he's an honourable mention, not in the actual in the value or the premium picks. And then the last one is going to be Lafay for Sunderland. So he's sort of going to be a value / bench sort of rotational player for me, I think. He's a playmaker for Sunderland, ideal price. He can help Sunderland attackers with creativity. Obviously, with Xhaka coming in as well, I decided to pick Xhaka over him instead. But Lafay, he can play in that sort of attacking area, so he could be the extra attacker for your teams if you do choose to select someone at 4.5 million. Obviously, it's a very good sort of price bracket player where he's not going to cost you too much. He can sit on the bench, and he's not going to lose you too much, and he does have the potential for some points. So yeah, there's all my options for the midfield. Obviously, I want to go through again, just saying that there's obviously a lot of good players within this area, within the whole tournament. Obviously, there's a lot of good names on this list. I can't obviously mention everyone. Players like Odegaard is a very, very good option for Arsenal when they get some good fixtures. Morgan Gibbs-White, also the same for Nottingham. Alanga, the same for Newcastle. So there's a lot of good players. I just decided to pick my favourites, and my favourite for the premium and my favourite for the value area. And obviously, honourable mentions to some selections across all price brackets. You got Eze at 7.5, and Ndai at 6.5, Arias at 6, Lafay at 4.5, for example. So hopefully this helped open your eyes to a few players that you wouldn't sort of necessarily looked at before, but you have now because of my little breakdowns. Okay, so that's me done for the midfield area of the EPL Fantasy Season Long Contest over on FanTeam. I'll be doing a forwards episode in a couple of days, so keep an eye out for that one. Turn notifications on. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that one. You can go back and listen to my defenders and goalkeepers one as well. Actually, I'll just show you on YouTube here. All you got to do is type in Elite Wages. And then obviously wait for it to load. Click on my profile here, and you'll find all the videos that I've made, all the episodes to the show, including last week's episode where I broke down the defensive area, which was here. You can listen to it on the podcast here. You can watch it on the video here. And obviously you got my Premier League predictions as well in that episode there. If you do want a quicker video for those selections, you can sort of come over to here and you can watch my YouTube shorts. Obviously the goalkeeper one labelled goalkeepers, defenders one labelled defenders. Obviously there'll be a midfielders one when I post this episode as well. You've got my strategy guide in 30 seconds there as well, so take a look around. Make sure you click the bell, which is here. Make sure you subscribe, and obviously share with your friends if they're struggling with fantasy as well. try and get this out there as far as possible, so I can help more people within fantasy football and the betting scene. And then obviously don't forget to enter this giveaway. I'm giving away 5 free tickets into the EPL seasonal contest on FanTeam. Like, retweet, comment free on this tweet here, and you will be entered. So yeah, that's me done. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, share on all forms of social media. Help me help more people win money in fantasy football and in the betting scene. So I'll be back in a few days when I break down the EPL season-long contest and the forward position. Catch you later.